from a mother who just lost another child. There's a cry from a people who have nothing more to lose. Everything that they live for has been wasted and abused. There's a cry from a river.
What's up, people? It's your girl Adiola. 3 weeks, my people. It's been 3 weeks since 234 girls have been kidnapped by Boko Haram in Nigeria. And it was only this week, can you imagine, that the Nigerian government is sending military after them? I mean, I don't get it. People tell me that we have a government. I said, no way. Forget about America. Such a thing cannot happen in Kenya. So why exactly did our president deliberately keep quiet until people started protesting? So after 18 days, that was when he decided to set up a committee. Yeah, as usual, it has to be a committee to look into the facts of the story. No, this is not a committee to find ways to rescue the girls. This is a committee to look into the facts of the story, to see if the story is actually true or not. Can you imagine? I mean, they know that Boko Haram was likely to attack the school. That was actually why they removed girls from the school signboard. It baffles me that all the girls that escaped, 43 of them, they all escaped on their own. There was no help. None of them was rescued. One of the girls that escaped, her name is Deborah Sonia. She said that when Boko Haram came to their school that night, because it's a boarding school, Boko Haram came in army uniforms. Yes, Boko Haram is now disguising as soldiers in Nigeria. They told them that they've come to take the girls to safety. So the girls all thought that this was arranged by the military. They willingly got in the trucks. They thought Boko Haram was coming. But it was after they loaded the trucks that this man set the school on fire, chanting Allahu Akbar. She said that was when they all realized, wait a minute, these are not soldiers. These are Boko Haram members. But by then, it was too late. The trucks were already on the road. Now, according to this girl, Deborah, some of the girls jumped off the truck while the truck was on motion, and those ones actually escaped. She didn't have the courage to jump, so she was still with them when they got to the Boko Haram camp the next morning. Now, Deborah said that they were forced to start cooking as soon as they got to the Boko Haram camp. After that, she was able to convince 2 of her friends that we have to escape. So they started running, and one Boko Haram man ran after them, warning them not to try to escape. He kept running after them. But this girl said that despite their fear and everything, that they kept running until they lost that Boko Haram guy. And that night, they made it to a village where a stranger allowed them to spend the night. Now in the morning, she called her parents, told them everything that happened, and they continued running that second day until 4:30 p.m. That was when she finally made it back home. Now that means that these girls ran for 2 days. Again, where is the rescue team that the government sent out? If 43 girls can escape, I don't think that Boko Haram stronghold is that well secured that the soldiers would not be able to rescue those girls. But of course, the Nigerian government did not do anything. They didn't do anything when they could have rescued all of them at once. Now the girls are being separated. They are being taken to Chad, Cameroon in groups of 10s, and several places in Borno where they are marrying them off for 2,000 naira. 2,000 naira, that is about $12. How can you just marry off a girl? This is slavery. We used to be the best on land army. What happened to us? And we are trying to keep peace in Mali and other countries. How ironic that we can't do so in our own country. Have we even called Cameroon to talk about this since it happened? Have we called Chad? And why can't we get ECOWAS involved? And the AU? If one of those girls were to be a governor's daughter, in fact, if Mr. President's daughter happened to be one of those girls, I'm telling you, by now, the soldiers would have caught up with these bandits and they would have rescued them. And what is the difference between Jonathan's daughter and these girls? They all have red blood flowing in their veins. It's very sad that parents were the ones that were going to the forest looking for their daughters. Parents, the Nigerian government knew where these girls were kept. They just did not go after them. Unfortunately though, the parents were not armed as Boko Haram, so they were not able to do anything. They came back empty-handed. You can imagine feeling helpless and not able to rescue your daughter. I know that you've seen these pictures, but These are the mothers of the girls. These are the parents, their family members wailing on the ground as they marched from the Eagle Square in Abuja to the National Assembly last week, begging the senators to allow the soldiers to pursue their daughters. For how long would we dialogue when Boko Haram has made it very clear that they are not interested in dialogue? Why are we troubling ourselves? I heard that they are now asking for ransom. Can you imagine? Where are the key women in Nigeria, by the way? What are they saying about this? Where is Madam Ngozi? Where is she? I forgot that they named her one of the 100 most influential people, yes, in the world. Of course, they did not lie. This woman got away with $20 billion disappearing, and she's the finance minister. You see influence right there, right there. In fact, talking about influence, the CBN governor was suspended. That is influence right there. You see what I'm saying, eh? These are the women that are supposed to speak up at this time for these girls. And where is the first lady at this time? The self-proclaimed Mama Peace. Woman, at least show some concern. Show that you are a woman, a mother. Mama Peace waited till 19 days and said that she will stage a protest. And I'm like, why don't you just do the protest in your bedroom? I mean, everybody that has been protesting, they are protesting that the Nigerian president will do something. So why don't you just talk to your man in your bedroom? I hope the Nigerian women are paying attention to this woman, because tomorrow when she starts distributing 500 naira for you to come and stage a rally in support of her husband, hopefully you will all say no. What am I even saying? Some people have already started rallying for Mr. President. Yes, I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures. It's been all over. They are saying that he must contest in 2015. Women that are supposed to challenge the first lady at this time, that what are you doing about our children that are missing? And of course, they have some young guys among them, all because of money. And before I forget, not only the women, where are the men of God at this time? And why are churches and mosques not matching for these girls? And for those of you who may not know, this school is actually a Christian school. Yes, all those girls, at least most of them, I'm sure, are Christians. It's a Christian school. I'm not saying this because I'm a Christian. No. Boko Haram has been killing both Christians and Muslims. But seriously, if all the churches and mosques in Nigeria should start marching for a change, don't you think that Nigeria would have changed by now? I learned that the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, that they declared 3 days fasting and prayer. Even the Bible says that if your neighbor asks you for food, you don't say, I will pray for you, I will pray for you. No. You're supposed to give him food. Yes. And not only that, Esther did not just fast in the Bible. She did something. She went to see the king, even though it was dangerous at that time. We've been praying for a long time, but we are not doing anything. In fact, there are so many Christians who believe that it's a sin that I'm speaking out against this indifferent administration. All these popular men of God, by the way, they are all friends with Jonathan. They know his cell phone number. They were all at the wedding of Jonathan's daughter. All these pastors, they all received their own gold cell phones that Jonathan distributed to all the wedding guests. So why can't they call Jonathan on this same cell phone and be like, yo man, you are not doing what you should be doing? The men of God that I read about in the Bible, they were very blunt with ungodly kings. I mean, the 3 days fasting and prayer has been over since, and we still don't know where these girls are. Can we do more than pray and fast? Because it looks like God is waiting for us to do the right thing. Thanks to all those who protested, especially Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, for leading the protest. And thanks to all those who participated. Men, all the men that went out, thank you so much. And all the women that went out, including all the celebrities. In fact, people protested in so many states. Even though it rained heavily that day, even the following day, we appreciate your courage. All of you, we appreciate your courage. And for those who do not care, because I see all kinds of stuff on the internet about, oh, this is just in the north, why should I care? They were the ones that started Boko Haram anyway, now they can't handle it. I read things like that a lot, and I'm like, don't think for a minute that a particular place where you live in Nigeria is safe right now just because it's not in the north. I mean, what stops Boko Haram from driving to another state to detonate a bomb? They did it in Abuja. That's the federal capital, and they got away with it. And guess what? Wasn't there another bomb blast at Nyoya last Thursday? You get what I'm saying? So please, my friends, don't get too comfortable. By the way, I heard that one Hausa musician recorded a song condemning President Jonathan's lack of remorse after the Abuja bombing, when he went to dance. And to my surprise, I heard that this Hausa guy was arrested by the SSS. I'm like, what? When? How did we get here? Not only that, polytechnic students, they've been on strike for months now, and these students protested that the government should do something so that they can go back to school. It was a peaceful protest. I'm telling you, the police shot tear gas and grenades at these students. You know that these girls that were kidnapped, they were writing their WAEC exams, their WAEC and NECO. It's their final year of secondary school, final year. All of them between the ages of 16 and 18. And then this happened. And lastly, my deepest sympathy to the families of the two of these girls who have died. These girls were bitten by snakes, two of them. While our government officials were having their meetings and deliberating about whether to go after them or not. But before I go, there are so many petitions that you can sign on behalf of these girls. Please take a minute, whatever it would take. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. And speaking of presidents who don't care about their people, have you guys heard about what happened in Ethiopia last week? The Ethiopian security forces opened fire on students last Thursday during a non-violent protest. Non-violent at Western Oromia in Ambo town. I still don't get it. Africa, when are we going to wake up? Why are we killing our own children? Why are we killing ourselves? This is not even colonial time. This is not an attack from an enemy outside Ethiopia. This is the government of Ethiopia killing its own people. How do you explain that? How do you defend a government that opens fire on peaceful protesters in broad daylight? Do you know that they killed more than 30 people that day on the spot? More than 30 people. To be honest, I'm really concerned about what's going on in Ethiopia. Are things really getting better? I mean, it wasn't long ago that they jailed those women that were protesting during a marathon. Remember that I talked about that? Women protesting as they were running. And not only that, just last Sunday, they jailed 6 bloggers and 3 journalists. Now, bloggers, that just doesn't make sense to me. So that means you can't even blog anymore. There is no freedom of blogging. Tell me, if there is no freedom of blogging, what freedom do you have? You don't have to be a journalist to blog. It's your right to blog about whatever you want. But now they are saying you can't even blog. So they jailed 6 bloggers and 3 journalists. Of course, they've been jailing journalists for a long time, even journalists who have terminal diseases. There's this female journalist that has breast cancer. They jailed her. There's another male journalist that has kidney problems. They jailed him. They've been jailing journalists for a long time in Ethiopia. And guess what their crime was? These bloggers and 3 journalists that were arrested. The Ethiopian government said that these young people are working with foreign organizations. They're working with human rights activists abroad, and that they're using social media to destabilize the country. And they did not explain to us how these people are destabilizing Ethiopia. Does that make sense? And this is a democratic country. In case you don't know, Ethiopia is a democratic country. The next thing is that they arrested them and they jailed them. And as a matter of fact, the government opened a court session last Sunday in order to sentence these bloggers to prison. You see why I'm saying that I'm really afraid of the way things are going right now? So because they want to get rid of these bloggers and this journal, they wanted to sentence them as quickly as possible. Because of that, they opened the court on a Sunday. Hey, yeah. How can you not have freedom of press in a democratic country? It doesn't go together. Ethiopia. So now people can no longer protest because they may open fire on them, and you can no longer blog because you may be arrested. It doesn't even matter what you are blogging about. They can come up with an excuse about how that can destabilize Ethiopia. I honestly hope that the government of Ethiopia would wake up on time and have a change of mind before it's too late. You can't keep going like this, and don't think that this is only affecting Ethiopians. No, the whole of Africa. It's a ripple effect. What is going on in Nigeria right now, I'm sure it's affecting neighboring countries. It's affecting so many things. When Boko Haram can kidnap 200 girls and get away with it, you understand what I'm saying? So this is not just about Ethiopians. This is about all Africans. Honestly, it's not worth it. All the things that they are doing, it's not worth it. You are doing more harm than good. So many countries are looking up to Ethiopia, so we need to get it right. Now, to all my Ethiopian brothers and sisters, please don't keep quiet. I believe that change will come. And my deepest condolences, to all the people who have lost somebody in the recent shooting. It's so sad. I can't even imagine what you're going through. Let the government of Ethiopia know that the whole world is watching. Guess what? I'm just keeping it real. Now, speaking of students being killed by the government, I like to talk about Gambia because last month, was the 14th anniversary of the students that were killed by the Jammeh administration. Yes, we did not forget, even though Jammeh made sure that the TV station in Gambia did not mention this at all, and the radio station as well as the newspaper in Gambia. But guess what? Gambians did not forget. Even if Jammeh forgot, Gambians did not forget, and the world did not forget either. I mean, just like it happened in Ethiopia, these students were protesting injustices. They were protesting how Jammeh's administration had been mistreating their fellow students. You know, they had killed one guy and a soldier had raped a girl in the stadium. That's what the students were protesting when Jammeh ordered that they should fire at them. It was a peaceful protest, you know, a peaceful protest. And they killed 14 of them that day in broad daylight. Until now, no one in Gambia has been arrested or prosecuted on the death of these students, and Jammeh makes sure that no media talks about it. But you know, Gambians all over the world marked that day. In fact, several Gambians gathered in Washington, D.C. in collaboration with the Democratic Union of Gambian Activists in Washington, D.C. They protested from here, they observed silence for these students, and not only that, these people raised funds that day for the students that were injured, all the students that were handicapped because of the shooting that day. These people raised funds for them and for the family members of those who died. But you know what pisses me off is that if the husband doesn't have any regards for human life, how can the wife also not have regards for human life? I don't understand how a woman can be as pretty and not care about other people. I mean, have you guys been following the Gambian news? Do you ever see the first lady do anything? What exactly is she doing apart from shopping? And this woman shops till she drops. She shops. Today she's in the UK shopping. Tomorrow she's in the US shopping everywhere. Even her bra, her coste, including her coffee and tea. She orders everything from abroad. I'm not exaggerating. You can ask a Gambian. I've been told that even the matches that she uses to cook comes from America. You guys know that the woman is from Morocco, right? Yes, she's not Gambian. Well, he was married to a Gambian before he saw this one at a dance parlor. What do they call it? In Libya. Yes, she was. I didn't say that she was a stripper. Why are you looking at me like that? She used to be a dancer, yes, for popular people. Anyway, that was where the Gambian president saw her in Libya, and then he married her. Yes, so he kicked out the Gambian wife and brought in this woman. So yes, she's from Morocco originally, and she only speaks French, if not recently that she started learning English because of all her travels to the US. But my Gambian friends have been telling me that this woman doesn't talk to Gambians, so hey, yeah. They said she doesn't talk to Gambians, so I thought it's like she doesn't even care. They said she only talks to her staff, that is all. I said, hey, yeah. And she calls herself the first lady. How can you be a first lady and not care about the people? I said, I don't blame her. I don't blame her. You know, because her and her husband, they continue to loot the Gambian economy. You guys know that this woman has a huge mall in Morocco. Yes, she's the first lady of Gambia, yes, but Morocco is where the investment is, a huge mall. Not only that, she has this huge $3.5 million house in Potomac, right here in Washington, D.C. It's not a secret now, you can Google it. And that is not to talk about the multi-million-dollar houses that she has in France, in Morocco, in Spain, in Guinea-Conakry. I mean, the list goes on and on. This woman has houses everywhere. High maintenance, number one. You know, houses that she doesn't even live in, and she's paying millions of dollars, and then she has all kinds of businesses abroad. That is for those of you that are wondering why the Gambian economy is not thriving. Now you know it is thriving abroad. You get what I'm saying? Because for 15 years, I don't understand how this woman can be married to the president for 15 years and she could not talk sense into her husband to do well by the people. 15 years. This is why I say that many times in Africa, our problem is not just the men in power. Sometimes it's the women next to the men in power. You get what I'm saying? Because they are turning dead ears to the cries of the people. The same thing is happening in Nigeria. We have so many key women in power that are not doing anything for the people, including our first lady as well. It's very sad that I've heard several times that her husband Jammeh is, you know, doing it with younger girls whenever she travels. Yeah, because you know the woman travels a lot, and then Jammeh will promise those young girls scholarship, you know, so he's been doing it with several young girls. That's just karma, by the way. It's a bitch. In fact, Jammeh is not hiding it, because 2 years ago he married a 17-year-old girl, which he later divorced because the wife was not ready, you know, to collaborate. Jammeh divorced that 17-year-old girl 3 months after marrying her. All these things that I'm telling you guys, by the way, they are on the internet. I know Jammeh doesn't want you to read them. That is why I read them. and I bring them to you so you don't have to do yourself any wahala. If you're a first lady, please fight for the rights of the people. Be a responsible first lady. Because you know, if you do the right thing by the people, you will not be forgotten. Like the former first lady of Cameroon, Mama Irene. Yes, that woman was good. Even though her husband was a dictator, she stood by the people. Till today, they still talk about her. Hopefully, the Gambian first lady is watching. Please, change your ways. People are tired of you not caring about them. And Mr. Jermaine, don't forget, I've been telling you for a long time, step down. If not, you'll be ousted as you're afraid of. There's a coup coming. But you know, you guys know that I don't know anything. Even Gambians know that I don't know anything. Wait me, I beg. I'm just keeping it true. Moving on to Kenya, one police officer has been in the news. She's become a celebrity now, and it's all because of her. I call it the what is wrong with you now? What is your problem? You think Kenyans don't know where you live? They know the number of your house, and they can come after you. I'm telling you, oh boy, you are on your own if they come after you. Back to what I was saying, my people. Put up the right picture. Thank you. I'm talking about police officer Linda Okello. Yes, this woman, very beautiful, Jerry. She's been in the news recently because of her shape that was highlighted in her uniform. You get what I'm saying? I don't have that much. So her picture went viral, and many people have been crucifying her, you know, and some people have been standing by her, you know. Me, I stand by this woman. I stand by her. Yes, what do you want her to do? Tell me, what do you guys want her to do? This thing is a blessing. You know how much some women are spending just to have half of this? How can you hide a blessing? You can't hide a blessing. I don't know what your problem is, those of you that are attacking this woman. She said she gained weight. She gained weight. What do you want her to do? She said the skirt didn't used to be as tight, but she gained weight. Why are people hating? Why are they hating on this woman? Do you know how many men would love to wake up next to this every morning? They are probably just jealous. These are them that are hating on her. Would you rather that she look like this? Call it, will put up that. Yes, thank you. You want her to look like this, like a sister, when she's on duty? Isn't it good that she's making sure that people are safe and feeding their eyes at the same time? Don't blame this woman. But my sister, you see how I've been defending you left and right. You are blessed, and no man can curse you. Whoever God has blessed, no man can curse you. That thing is your own. Nobody can share it with you. But having said all that, madam, I was thinking that maybe you could have reported to the Ogas at the top that it looks like this thing is starting to become just a little tight, so that they will start arranging for a more comfortable uniform. You get what I'm saying? Because you know it looks a little too tight, in my opinion. It looks tight. It looks tight. I'm just looking out for you, making sure you can breathe very well, especially that you can breathe from behind. That is all I'm looking out for. This woman she's very blessed. She's very, very blessed. However, men wear tight uniforms all the time, and we don't seem to be bothered by that. You will see them with a big tummy, like this man. You get what I'm saying? Because when God blesses men, it comes out here. You get what I'm saying? And what can you do? They have to eat their fufu. So if you don't have problem with men showing big tummy, why do you have problem with women showing blessed behind? I heard that they are now trying to change the uniform because of this woman's saga. Now wow, because last year they banned lipstick. That female police officers can no longer use lipstick in Kenya, and then they banned wearing big earrings in Kenya. Now they can't wear sexy thing, and you know, so many men will be disappointed by the way when they change this woman's uniform. Now speaking of men, have you heard that polygamy has been legalized in Kenya? Yes, now a man can marry as many wives as he wants, so long as it is not a church wedding. You can marry as many wives as you want. You know, so many men have been jubilating and celebrating, including this one. I see you. Don't think I didn't see you. You think I don't know all the love letters you've been writing to Kenyan women? I see the 82. Your secret has been leaked. The emails that you are sending, you accidentally sent it to my email. Yes. By the way, the producer told me you've been asking for money, trying to raise funds to go to Kenya. Kenyan babes, they don't take nonsense. So, but you know, I have a problem with that new law. I've been asking everybody now that men can marry as many wives as they want. What about women? When would women be allowed to marry as many husbands as they want? I'm all about equality here, my people. If men can be allowed to marry as many wives as they want, then they should allow polyandry as well. You get what I'm saying? So that women can marry as many husbands as they want. When that happens, call it a will. I will personally give you money to go to Kenya to go and find fine babes. You get what I'm saying? I don't know anything, I beg. I'm just keeping it true. Alright y'all, it's been real, and I'm keeping it real right up in here. Until next week, I'm gonna see y'all later. Peace out.